In section 10.2, we're going to talk about ellipses. Okay, well, if you've never heard about what is an ellipse is, in layman's terms, basically a circle that's been stretched out either horizontally or vertically. What does that mean? It means it's making more of an oval shape instead of a circle. In a circle, you go the same direction, left, right, up, and down using a radius. Here in an ellipse, you go left and right a certain amount, that stretches it in one direction, and you go up and down possibly a different amount, which creates more of an oval shape because you're stretching it out up and down differently than you are left and right. So when you look at an ellipse, this is what we expect to see, an oval type shape. Now we have two special points when we have an ellipse. They're called a focus. When we're talking about them individually. When you're talking about them together as a plural statement, we call them foci. And we see them here. They're points F and G. Okay. Those are called your foci or focus individually. Okay. So because ellipses are not the same as circles, you have two different axes. You have what you're going up and down as one radius, and then you have a different radius, which you're doing left and right. But we tend not to focus on up and down, left and right, and more which one's longer and which one's shorter as a diameter. And so what we're going to look at first is what's called the major axis. The major axis is going to be the direction in which you have the longest diameter. Whether that's your left and right or your up and down, it's going to vary from problem to problem. The minor axis is going to be the one with the shortest diameter. So again, the major axis is going to be the one that's got the longest diameter, as it is in this picture below, and the one with the minor axis is going to be the one with the shortest diameter. And this one is the one where you're going up and down. Some other terms you might hear about when looking at ellipses are semi-major and semi-minor axes. The semi-major axis is just saying half of the major axis. So basically in the picture above, you're saying half of the major axis, which is a fancy way of just saying the radius of the major axis. They just don't like using the term radius anymore because we're not talking about a circle. So semi-major axis means half of the major axis. It makes sense. When you hear about semicircles, what did semi mean with circles? It meant half of a circle. So semi-major axis means half of the major axis. Semi-minor axis then means, again, minor axis means the shorter axis of the two. It means the shorter radius. So it means the radius of the shorter one. Again, they just don't like using the term radius, but it means the same thing. Moving along